as she stays, she's never yours. She doesn't breathe, she doesn't leave when she's with you. She scratches red and cuts too deep, there's nothing left to do. The world inside she sees is all in black, trapped inside a ball. The world inside she sees is always gray, trapped inside a ball. The world inside where light never comes in, trapped inside a ball. Just then again, trying to get closer to you. You always go back to the place of black and blue.
Hi, folks. Come on in. Welcome to the Cassidy The Cardslinger show here on My Psychic Connection. I'm so excited to be here with everyone tonight. Guys, if you have not heard, this is my show's season finale. So, yay! I'm so excited. I am really looking forward to tonight and spending the evening with everyone and reading your beautiful questions and diving right in. I'm so very excited. But let's go through my opening spiel. So, how it works around here, I am doing both donated readings and free mini readings. So if you are interested in getting a bit more information, the donation link will be floating around in the chat there for you. What I need from you, though, if you are interested in getting a reading tonight, is a specific question. Now, this goes for free readings and donated readings. I need to know what it is that you want to know. If you're interested in a general reading, I'm going to ship you over to our website, which is www.mypsychicconnection.com, and you can get 3 minutes free over there, and you can ask general questions. But for the show, just so I can tap in, get you that information you're looking for, and not, air out your dirty laundry in everybody's business. We are live, and I don't want to go somewhere that you're not interested in going. So we'll save the general questions for the website. A couple of topics I can't read on include legal readings and medical readings. So if you're interested in, legal advice, medical advice, I highly suggest you seek the professionals in those areas. So I will not be touching anything in that regard. And that includes any readings related to pregnancy, birth predictions, death predictions, anything like that. So I'm also not a psychic medium. So if you're interested in tapping into speaking with your loved ones on the other side, you can check out the website or the other shows that we have Monday through Thursday evenings as well. So how this also works, if you are interested, like I said, in getting a free reading, I'd love to see your questions, and do say hello. Come on in, say hi. I can see some hellos in here. I'd love to see who is popping by. It's great to see everyone showing up tonight. Hello, hi, Carolina. Thanks so much for joining us, each and every one of you. So if you're interested, like I said, hi, Helen. If you're interested in getting a longer reading tonight, the donation link is going to be floating around in the chat. There are going to be 3 options for you. There's the quick reading, the mini reading, or the mega reading. So the mini and mega readings aren't timed. So there, if you want a bit more information, we can go into more complex situations. And the mega reading is if you've got more than one question. The mini reading is limited to the one question, but both are not timed. And the quick reading is up to 5 minutes. So I can dive in pretty good there as well if you're looking for more information. And all of the donations jump the line. So if you don't want to, I will say, exercise the virtue of patience here tonight, the donation link will jump you right to the front of the line, and the mega reading jumps the donation list as well. So games, we will be playing a couple of games tonight. One of them is the emoji contest, and I can see we've already got some contenders here tonight. So whoever sends the most emojis throughout the show will win a reading with me later on in the show. So let's see those emojis. I like the hearts. I like the little octopus. I like, the smileys. There's really not an emoji I'm partial to having a problem with. So let's see those emojis, and good luck to everyone on that contest. Also, I will be doing the yes or no game halfway through the show, so stick around for that. And if you do have a yes or no question that you would like answered, I will be announcing that game a little bit later on. So, and also, guys, we are on over 190 different platforms. So please be patient with me. There is one of myself and a number of you out there who are interested in getting readings. I will try and get to as many people as possible. I will also say, if you're listening to me somewhere where you can't ask a question, if you're listening audio only, head on over to YouTube, type in My Psychic Connection. You'll see this our lovely blue logo. It's a tree, and it says My Psychic Connection on a silver banner around it. You will see that I am live, and you can type in your specific question there and get a reading with me this evening. So, guys, like I said, I am very excited to be here. Welcome to my season finale, and I'm excited to get started. Let's take a look at who we have for our first question of the night. We have Helen. Hi, Helen. Helen says, will I find a place soon? I'm moving, question mark. Please and thank you. All right, my dear, let's take a look at what I can see with your moving situation. Do we see you moving soon? And will you find a place in the near future? Let's take a look. All right. Cool. So, my dear, yeah. First of all, tapping into how you're feeling about this, I've got the 9 of Swords card here, so I can only imagine. I can really see how stressful this has been on you. The whole idea of needing to move, to find a place, to organize everything. It feels as though the weight has been really put on your shoulders to organize the whole aspect of moving. I don't know if you're moving with someone else or if it's just yourself, but it does seem to really be a source of stress, anxiety, and tension in your life. So I do hope that, well, I do have good news, I will say. You did ask if you will find a place soon. So I have the Star card here as well as the Ace of Cups. And both of those do point to me to finding a new home. And on a rather short timeline. To be honest, this looks, a month plus or minus, a little bit of time. With the Page of Swords here, though, you need to... Page of Swords reversed, I will say do not limit the scope of your search and what it is that you're typing in. It's almost like when you're filtering out what you're looking for, you're missing options that would fit really well for you. That Page of Swords reversed, also make sure you're not losing any responses, replies into like a junk folder, or you're accidentally typing in the wrong phone number. There does seem to be either a delay or a possible warning surrounding communications with potential landlords and places to be. So on that note as well, be very careful when you're filling out your applications to these different places. Make sure you're not forgetting information. This is the sort of thing that I would say could derail or delay/derail your ability to find a new... That fits. So that is what I have got for you there, my dear. I hope that was helpful, and good luck to you. It does look, it does look promising. That Ace of Cups is a good card, particularly when we're looking for finding a new home, finding a new place to stay. It does point to, all those nice, warm, fuzzy things. So excellent. Helen says, "Oh, I so appreciate your time and energy. Thank you kindly." You are very welcome, my dear. Thank you for joining me here this evening. All right, guys, I'm in such a good mood. I hope happy February, by the way. Also meant to say that it is February 1st. Welcome a fresh month. I hope January was good for everyone. I know that the energy may have been a bit chaotic at times. There were I will say, points of conflict that a lot of us experienced in that first month, whether within ourselves, with other people, the pressure of getting ourselves together and figuring out what we want our year to bring for us. So I hope that February we can really solidify things that we're more serious about, that it can give you a 2.0 chance at January. If January wasn't what you were looking for to start your year, you can start it fresh here with this new beautiful month upon us. So happy February to everyone. Great. All right. I'll go ahead and take my next question. Who have we got, please? We have Gemma. Hi, Gemma. Gemma says, "I've been out of work for some time now. Will I have a career or work again? If so, in which field? It definitely won't be this year. I know that. Thank you." All right, my dear. Let's take a look at your question there. Will you work again, or find yourself in a position where you are holding a career? Let's take a look for lovely Gemma tonight. There we are. Okay. All right. So you already alluded in your question to the fact that it's not going to be this year. And in fact, I do agree with that sentiment. I've got the Page of Swords reverse as my underlying card here, where it just seems to be other priorities or limitations that you're experiencing that are inhibiting your ability to to work at this time and in the short term. But I will say, though, just because you won't be working within this next year, I don't think it's how I see this playing out. And what I would recommend to you is using this time while you're not working to figure out what it is that you would want to do next and what is going to work for you in terms of limitations that you're going to face going forward, what line of work you would like to do, what you are intuitively drawn to do. I have the High Priestess card here as well as the Six of Coins reversed and the Queen of Swords. So to me, where you've asked, what field, I wouldn't be surprised if this has a large component of either remote work or working on computers, working distance. It doesn't at the moment seem to be, I would say, like an office job where you're necessarily going into a location consistently all the time. So what I would really recommend for you for this year, despite the fact that you're not, perhaps like the money exchange is not taking place right away, and that you're not employed necessarily throughout this year, I don't see this year as being a total scrap or a total write-off in terms of your career and your ability to continue working and going back to work at a later date. So that is what I would recommend for you there, my dear. Use this time to get more clear with what it is you would want to. And that is what I am seeing for you there, my dear. And I've got the bell again. So thank you very much for your question. I hope that was helpful, and good luck for your year ahead. Yeah, I mean, for one reason or another, either, in relation to that question, but I'll just definitely speak more generally to that, is sometimes we can project out a path that we're expecting to walk for a year, for a month, for a week. And the more I was thinking about this earlier today, it's like, how much of our lives would we control and plan if we were given the opportunity to do so? And some of us would, plan out the next 5 years down to the minute, down to the detail. And other people on the other side of the spectrum are a lot more fluid, like to just kind of go with the flow and see what comes up. And of course, somewhere in the middle is probably the most common or the most malleable way to move through life, to have some level of plan and control over our lives. But of course, all kinds of things happen. But the point I am wanting to make here is that be flexible on our paths ahead, especially if you're looking at things that are either limiting your choices, limiting your ability to move forward. Have you accepted some sort of narrative or some sort of reality for yourself that could be changed if you took a different path, if you met someone, if you learned something, if something else came about for you? So keep your mind open. And Audrey says, ooh, I like to know. Yes. All right. So where are we at? I'm going to go ahead and pick up this deck. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 decks on my table, and however many hundred in my desk in front of me here. So I'm ready for my next question. Please, who have we got next? We have Audrey. Hello, Audrey. Audrey says, hi, she says, hi, I was just getting comfortable working enough to survive, and now my daughter, who's my babysitter, wants to go back to work. Will I have to find daycare, or will everything still work out? Thanks. All right, my dear, let's take a look at that. So with your daughter who's wanting to go back to work, will you need to find daycare, or will everything still work out for you? Let's take a look how that will go with the daycare situation and your daughter wanting to go back to work. Okay. All right. It seems more like a gradual process with what I'm seeing here. I don't think you need to worry necessarily about her, going back to work tomorrow and you being left high and dry. Although it does look like new arrangements are going to need to be made, because I do see her, in fact, going back to work. I have this card of friendliness come up in reverse, where it is showing, I will say, that that's that gradual transition of where I don't think your daughter is just walking away from the responsibility that the arrangement that the two of you have made, but she is at the same time wanting to put her roots down somewhere, to grow somewhere. This is a very important move for her professionally, to be able to go back into the workplace, but at the same time, there's a willingness to work with you surrounding that. So on her end, it does seem that the jobs that she will be interested in pursuing, and where I see this going for hers, it seems there's either a flexibility to her type of work in terms of the hours, and or she can work certain hours that you're not working. To me, it seems like an arrangement will be made where she's still helping support your childcare needs at this time. But I will say that you'll either need to find some sort of daycare or someone to help part-time to fill the space that she is leaving. The last card I have as my fundamental energy here is a card of celebration. We've got these 3 women dancing in the rain, having a great time, as well as the card of sharing. So both of these where you said, So that is all I've got time for there, my dear, but I hope that that was helpful. Thank you very much for your question. I do wish you good luck with that situation. And yeah, I mean, it fits a little bit to what I was just saying there about, trying to, where we can, plan as best we can, control what we can control, and remain fairly fluid and flexible because, we can't control the people around us, nor should we try, and we will drive ourselves right round the bend, as they say. So, excellent. We are cruising right along, guys. I'll go ahead and take my next question. Who have we got next? We have Love. Hello, Love. Love says, "Hi, Cassidy. Why are my parents so scared to ask my sister for help? They are always on standby. They are always on standby to babysit or take her food and are afraid to say no. She lives 15 minutes away and they ask me to help when I live 3 hours away." So you're asking, why are my, oh, sorry. Then she says, "It takes me 6 hours in total to go and come back. Thank you." All right, my dear. If I could have the first portion of that question just one more time. So why are my parents so scared to ask my sister for help? So they live close by. She lives, yeah, and you live far away, but they ask you to help. Why are they doing that? All right, my dear, let's take a look. Why your parents are so scared to ask your sister for help when she lives so much closer than they do. Or sorry, than you do, I will say. What's going on in that situation? There is my card right there. Let's take a look. Okay, interesting. Okay, there is so much to this. There seems to be quite a lot to this. One of the cards, I will start here, have clinging to the past, and it has come up in reverse. So part of me feels like there's either you have been there for them. There is some sort of dynamic, some sort of not necessarily an agreement, but a relationship. Almost feels like an expectation between them and you, where you've been, I would say, more, in a sense, trustworthy, or more, I will say, suitable to what they are needing help with than your sister might be. Is your sister struggling through something with herself at this time? I've got the cards of sorrow. I have consciousness reverse as well as aloneness reverse. And this is an interesting card here too, where I have possibilities, and you can see this eagle that's flying over the mountain. So it is interesting the fact that they think that the easier option is to reach out to you, a 6-hour return drive. That was the fastest couple of minutes I have experienced in a little bit of time, but that is what I have for you there, my dear. I hope that was helpful in putting that in the right direction for you. So good luck with that situation. I hope that helped. So yeah, I mean, that's something else we could talk about is, I will say, managing boundaries and managing the relationships that we have in our lives, whether they are romantic relationships, friendships, family. Love says, "Yes, I never used to say no to them because I felt bad when she says no." Yes, thank you. Exactly. So that's a really good point. And what I will wrap up and say is this, is make sure to check in with yourself that you're not consistently honoring an agreement or an expectation that was made at a point in the past where you are either now a different person, your situation has changed drastically, and particularly if you wouldn't have made that decision to do so now, why are you still doing that thing? And again, this is a generic sense of advice, so don't just walk away from all of your obligations and commitments. Absolutely not. But it's really a good thing to think about. Like, are you just clinging to something, still participating in something that honors something that you agreed to doing at a previous point in your life, that now you are, you're not that person anymore. You wouldn't do that thing at this point in time. Love says, so true. It is. And I mean, I've caught myself doing much the same thing. So that's partly why, I will say, getting readings, but also some level of self-reflection in your day-to-day life. I recommend everybody goes and buys a tarot deck. Like, you can do this type of work. You can learn to get into this, but either meditation, reflection, journaling, going for a walk, clearing your mind, just continuing to check in with yourself on a semi-consistent and regular basis will help you avoid waking up one day and thinking, why am I here? I'm not happy with my life. I've really gone astray from what has been important to me. So that is my long spiel to say, check in with yourself, make sure you are honoring who you are on a day-to-day basis as much as possible. That's obviously not something all of us can do all the time, but I digress. We could go into that a lot more, and I plan to do so at a later point. So, guys, it is game time. It is game time. So, what I will say is I will pause the emoji contest here just for a quick moment. And what we are going to do now is guess the playing card. Whoever guesses the playing card that I drew before the show started will win a reading with me right away. So if you are not familiar with the setup of the playing card deck, it is 52 cards. We have 4 suits. We've got hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. They are labeled ace through 10, and we have jack, queen, and king. So ready, set, go. Let's see those guesses. I say this every week, but you can do this one of 2 ways. Try and intuitively tap into either a number or a court card or a color. Are you seeing a black? Are you seeing a red card? Are you getting a high number, a low number? So you can intuitively try and figure out what card it was that I drew. And if you're not feeling that tonight, you also can just guess as many guesses as you like. There is no limit. You can guess as fast as your fingers can type. So I am looking forward to this. I do hope we have a wonderful winner tonight. The clock will be running, and it's here already. Oh, love, my goodness, you are good at this. You are very good at this. Congratulations, folks. That was I was gonna say a record, but I'm pretty sure Love guessed it her first guess at one point earlier on in a couple of shows past, but that one is pretty darn record. So thank you so much, everybody. Love says, yes, I knew it was a 2. Lol, yes. Well, thank you everyone for your guesses. Congratulations, Love. I'm very excited. Okay. So, Love, my dear, you know how this one works. If you're interested in a particular area of life, I'm happy to do that for you. Otherwise, I will just lay cards generally and see what they have to say. And I know I said at the beginning that I don't do general readings. Love says, thank you so much. You are so welcome, my dear. I don't do general readings, but if you are interested in something with a general tone to it, you must win one of the games that we have throughout the night tonight. So there's one more opportunity with the emoji contest a little bit later. So Love says love, please. Thank you. So let's take a look at what we have as a message for Love in the realm of love. Love's love. What do we have for you, my dear? Here we are. Okay. Beautiful. Get one more card there. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. So much to say. Love loves the love. Yes. I also love the love. So please, like, subscribe, do share this video with your friends. We love to meet new people, and we love the love. Share us out. We are growing our community, and it's great to meet everyone. All right, so Love, the first card I have for you, it says maintain your childlike spirit. That's a beautiful card. And the second one says celebrate differences. So with that, maintain your childlike spirit, what I want to say in the realm and relation of love is to approach love, whether you are looking for someone, whatever your situation is, to maintain that childlike spirit, to still inject a level of fun into it. Where we have this childlike spirit, it is vibrant, it is vivacious, it is I'm not seeing like the naive side of things, but more, I would say, hopeful, more open, more optimistic. This is what is being needed to be injected into your love life at this time, for it to feel more like fun, like it is something you are excited for, as opposed to either feeling not childlike, feeling more adult-like, where it can be, there's a lot of pressure there, or there's blocks, restrictions that you find yourself up against. I would say almost taking things too seriously. I'm not judging you, my dear, but with this card, she says, yes, definitely. So the first card there of maintain your childlike spirit, to, I would say, lighten your heart, lighten your energy surrounding the way you're approaching your love life. And with the second card here of celebrate differences, this is such a beautiful card. What do I have here? We have a, this is 2 people, and one of them is a unicorn person, and the other one is a dolphin person. And that is beautiful. She says, I need to stop adulting, lol. Yes, I would say so. Have a little more fun. This is being a little more flirtatious, not taking this so seriously, because when you're doing that, it puts too much pressure on the situation, and it doesn't quite get you where you want to go. So celebrate differences here. Open up your mind a little bit more, my dear, to who you would be willing to entertain and what sort of person you might be attracted to. Because sort of similarly to what I was saying before is of, are you honoring your past self or your present self? Have you checked in lately with what it is you're actually looking for, what is important to you, as opposed to, I would say, working with a list that might be outdated. There are certain either non-negotiable things that you're looking for now, or certain appearances, certain statuses, whatever it is in someone else, which to celebrate differences. I'm wanting you to open your mind, open your heart with the childlike spirit card, and open your mind a bit more with that celebrate differences, because it feels like love can be found in unexpected places. I'm so sorry to throw that cliche out there, and love says yes, correct. So that is the message that I've got for you there, my dear, to really lighten the mood surrounding your love life. Be a little more playful. Allow yourself to explore flirtatiously, in a sense, and celebrate those differences, both within, not so much within yourself, but within who you might find to be a good match. We've got, like I said, it's a unicorn and a dolphin, and there's this beautiful swirl and all of this magic around. So highly recommend both of those pieces of advice for you at this time. So congratulations there, love, again. Thank you so much, everyone, for playing the game. And love says, very resonating, Cassidy. Thank you, with a bunch of happy emojis. You are so welcome, my dear. Thank you. And congratulations for winning. And I will say too, guys, if you have gotten a reading either tonight from myself or from any of the other readers throughout the week, we'd love to hear your reviews. You can head on over to journeyryanlive.com/reviews. There will be a link floating around in the chat there as well. And you can leave a review for whoever gave you your reading throughout the week. We love to interact with everyone. So wonderful. All right, guys, if you are just joining me, I will say hello. Come on in, say hi. I love to see who's here. And I can see all these comments as they're floating by the screen. So come in, say hello. And if you are interested in getting a reading tonight, you can put your specific question into the chat. No mediumship readings tonight, as well as no general readings. So post your specific question. And if you're interested in getting a bit longer reading, the donation link will be floating around there as well. And the donations all jump the line. So let's see some more specific questions here, guys. I'm going to take my next question. Who have we got next? We have Kat. Hello, Kat. Kat says, hi, how does Lena feel about me? I see her 3 times a week and just met her last year at school. All right, my dear, how does Lena feel about Kat? Let's take a look. Known each other for about a year now. How does Lena feel about you at this time? Let's take a look here. Aw. Oh, goodness. Wow. What movie is that from? From Frozen, where the snowman says, all good things, all good things. I can't remember if that's where that's from, but that's the first message I have, my dear, when I flipped over all of these beautiful upright cards. I've got the King of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and Temperance have all come up upright, with my underlying card being the Queen of Pentacles upright. So, how is she feeling about you? Well, the first thing that comes forward is just that she feels that you have a very, there's a I almost want to say reverence, but that's not quite the right word, but there is a high level of respect that she has for you. The Queen of Cups and the King of Swords is a beautiful combination to show that she feels that you have both a very intellectual mind, you hold a good conversation, she feels you're very intelligent, as well as having a high emotional IQ. I like the poem. Having a high emotional IQ, as well as, when they say having, you've got something between the ears or light behind your eyes type of thing. So honestly, she does think very highly of you in that regard. The Temperance card is quite nice here as well, because I think she thinks that the two of you get along really quite well. With this, though, with that Queen of Pentacles facing the opposite direction, it might feel that there's a bit of a distance here, or it's hard to get a read sometimes on how it is that she's feeling about you and where your connection stands. But honestly, with that Temperance card there, I do feel that she thinks that the two of you go together quite well, that you're, someone that she can trust, someone that she appreciates seeing. Yes, my dear, that is all I have got time for, but that is what I have here in the card. So thank you so much for your question. I hope that was helpful for you. Sometimes these readings, they are just so, obvious is maybe the wrong word, but they are just like very clear. There are some readings that certainly take us into a more complex realms, and I'm trying to communicate things that may sound at times contradictory because they're so complex in their nature. But other times, like that reading there, it was just like, from that quote, all good things, all good things. So I like to see that. It's always nice to see happiness in the cards because we don't always do. So anywho, I am ready to take my next question, please. Who have we got next? We have Lesha. Forgive me if I am pronouncing that incorrectly. So Lesha says, will I pass my RBT exam on February 12th? I don't know what type of exam that is, my dear. And just in the event that it is a legal question, I'm going to have that put back onto a medical question. I'm going to have that put back on the list in case. Let me know if you're here, what that means, and if it is more, scholastic related. I'm happy to dive into that. But like I said, I cannot touch anything that is medical related here on the air. So if you can clarify that, I'm happy to answer that question. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and take our next question. Who have we got next? Oh, guys, okay, it is the lightning round. We are here with our yes or no questions for the next 3 minutes straight. I will be answering as many yes or no questions as I can. All I can say as an answer is yes, no, or undetermined. And that is it. That is all. So let's see those specific yes or no questions and do ask them so that they can be answered with yes or no. That means no when, no how, no where, none of those type of questions, but anything I can answer with a specific yes or no answer, I am happy to dive into that. So the clock will start running here as we see these questions coming in. Guys, I'm so excited. It is very hard. This is very tricky, but nevertheless, let's take a look at who we've got first. This is from Malin. So Malin asks, will my son get more works and new? So will your son get more work? Yes. Yes, I see. Yes. Emma says, does Joe have feelings for me? Yes. Love says, is Jay's work good? Is Jay's work good? Yes. Carolina says, will I get my schedule for my new position this weekend? Yes. Amanda says, will Scooter get I believe that's promotion? Will Scooter get a promotion? Yes. This is so tricky. Melon says, will my daughter stay at the work she is in now after June? She stay at the work she's in now after June? Yes. Emma says, will anything happen with Joe? Undetermined. Love says, is the method A uses very effective? Undetermined. Malin says, will I get new work near 2 months? Will I get new work near 2 months? Undetermined. Emma says, will I see Joe this weekend? Also undetermined. This is tricky. Amanda says, will finances go better this month? Undetermined. Yeah. Emma says, can we trust my brother's girlfriend? Yes. Love says, is MQ honest about L? Undetermined. Emma says, is Joe talking to other girls? Yes. Amanda says, is D going to cause issues for us? No. Oh gosh. Emma says, is my nan's house going to sell soon? Yes. Love says, did G think A was manipulative? G think A was manipulative? Yes. Amanda says, will Elisa open up more to me? Will Elisa open up more to me? Yes. Kat says, is Jay mad at me? Yes. A little bit. Malin says, will we get the electric problem we have home? Will we get the electric problem we have home by the insurance? Electric problem covered you have by home insurance? Let's take a look. Undetermined. Folks, that was one of the hardest, one of the most challenging yes or no rounds I have done in a very long time. That was very tricky. So many. Love says, thank you, Cassidy. You are very welcome, my darling. If I said undetermined, there are so many reasons that I said undetermined in this past couple of minutes there. Some of them being a timeline issue or concern. This can be, I would say, well, sometimes it's not faded either way. I'm not getting a strong yes or a strong no, so it's somewhere in the middle. Sometimes the question is posed in a way that it's not bringing forward what the crux of the issue is. That was wild. If anyone is interested in any more information, any of those questions, you can type in your specific question into the comments and I will hopefully get to it, or you can donate and I can jump to it right away. So, okay, that was fun. That was a great time. Thank you everyone for your beautiful questions. I will turn the emoji contest game back on. So let's see those emojis from everyone. And let me grab, who wants to play? Who wants to play this one? I'll take my next question. Who have we got next, please? We have Amanda. Amanda says, hi, beautiful Cassidy. Hope all is well. I'm wondering if there's anything I can do or need to know to help our finances get better. So hope all is well. Thank you so much. Going great. Is there anything you can do or need to know to help your finances get better? All right, Amanda, my dear, let's take a look at your situation with what's going on there. Any guidance information for you? Let's take a look. Okay. All right. So a couple of these cards that I have, well, oh, so much to say. Where to start? A couple of the cards I have here relate to more than one person. So where you're asking our finances, I assume that there is someone else that is contributing to your financial situation. I have both the card of the Lovers and the card of Projections here. So the first thing I want to say is that the burden that you're experiencing, the piece of advice or what's becoming very important here, she says, wife, makes sense that the burden is not yours entirely to carry, and to lean into the fact that there is more than just yourself that we need to lean on for your financial situation to improve. I also have the card here, and I hate to say this, but this is the card of patience. And it shows here, what I like about this card is it's got this beautiful moon phase coming forward. So to be honest, it does seem like we're in a phase of tightness right now. I don't want to say scarcity, but we're in a difficult phase right now. And it is showing that moon growing into a bigger, brighter phase as we are moving forward. So it does look like financial improvement happening here. But I will say with that card of patience, it doesn't seem to fix, I would say, the entire crux of the issue immediately. It's sort of like we're moving through this phase of difficulty before we get to a place that's more financially stable. We also have the card of the Creator in reverse. So in terms of advice for you, there seems to be, and I have the bill. I'm so sorry, my dear. I hope that was helpful to get you started. I really wish you good luck through the rest of the month and with your financial situation. I'm sending you sending you so much love. Okay, guys, I'm just having a great time tonight. I am really excited to be here. I'm really gonna miss everyone, but I know I said earlier it is my season finale, but this lovely spot here on Thursday night at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time, will be continuing by none other than the amazing Journey Ryan. So don't forget to join him next week, as he will be filling in for me while I am away. And Amanda says, thanks, hon, very helpful. You are most welcome, my dear. Thank you so much for your trust and for your question. But yeah, so check out Journey. He will be here this time next week, keeping this ship afloat while I am away. All right, I've got another deck here. Let's take a look at who we have got next. We have Jasmine. Jasmine says, what type of job are you seeing me taking up in the near future? What type of job? All right. Yeah, no, I'll stick with this deck. What type of job do I see you taking up in the near future? Well, let's take a look, my dear. What type of job? If you are here, let me know, I would say that the area, if there's something you're looking into, if there's things that you are considering between, just to help me narrow this down if you're around, my dear. But looking at this, well, okay, there's quite a lot of money on my table here, to be entirely honest with you. I've got the Knight of Pentacles has come up upright, as well as the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, with the Hermit card showing up at the bottom of my spread here. So what this is showing is, I don't know if you have done any level of education, if you have training certificate. This Hermit card is showing drawing directly on the experience that you have. So what I'm seeing in terms of going forward, it doesn't look like you are shifting entirely new light years into something that you've never done before, or going into, I would say, a space of work that you is entirely unfamiliar for you. With this Hermit card, it is much more about, yeah, that's what I'll say, like leaning on and using that experience that you have and continuing to grow in what it is that you are already doing. That Knight of Pentacles card here too as well, I would say it looks to be the next line of work. You're almost taking this more seriously is how this is coming across. Like we're looking to move into not just a job or something you would take for a shorter period of time, but we're talking more career moves, things that you would be, I would say, stable or secure in. Something, it seems to have benefits, some degree of like health benefits, pension benefits. It's honestly showing really quite well compensated with all of these coins cards here on my table. And this card of the Ten of Pentacles as well, it does seem to involve, it's not a solo or entrepreneurial venture that I'm seeing here. It seems to be more so that is all I have time for you there, my dear. I've got that beautiful bell, but thank you so much for your question. I hope that was helpful. Good luck. It looks good, honestly. It's nice to see, I would say, a clear forward, perhaps not necessarily clear, that might be the wrong way to say it, but definitely a path forward that looks very promising is what I will say in that regard. So wonderful. All right, guys, we are cruising right along. I am just having the best time. Let's take a look at who we've got next. I'm excited to jump right into the next reading. This is for Carolina. Carolina says, will I get my schedule for my new position this week? I believe that came up in the yes or no question, but let's take a look at that. Will you get your schedule over the next week? Over the weekend, you said, for your next week. It kind of seems to come, what's that saying? I'm dipping into the cliche sayings tonight, folks. Thanks for bearing with me. Dipping in at the last minute, or like coming in at the very last moment. When you've asked about this weekend, it almost feels like with that Dreamer card that I have in reverse, in the past, or your thoughts on the matter, it feels like they've been inconsistent with when their what's called, like when their schedules come out. It's almost like you have very little faith of them to to meet the deadlines and timelines that they're expecting to. And they will have this card of transformation that's come up in reverse. So it's almost like maybe they've said they're about to get better, they're going to try, but there's a feeling on your side of I'll believe it when I see it type of a deal. And then I have the card of silence here as well. So all of these cards seem to really show putting this off, delaying, and I think they are missing the mark on their end, and they're not living up to the timeline that you have been provided. I also have the card of the miser here as well. So it seems quite restrictive, like they are for some reason hoarding that information or not committing to the schedule right away. So where I'm saying it comes in at the last moment, you asked this weekend, no sooner than like late Sunday night type of thing, if not even early next week. It does seem that they are delaying this for one reason or another, for a reason that they have delayed in the past. Same reason bubbling up again, is when I see that schedule coming through for you. So I finished right on the bell that time. So thank you so much for your question, my dear. Hope that was helpful for you. Good luck. That's an interesting concept, an interesting thing to look into, where people say that they'll change, or people promise to change, or people, have these empty words that you then us on the other end watching those things. It's like when you know someone's character, you know someone's behavior, at some point you need to really lean into that excellent saying by Maya Angelou, which is, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. If the more that we make up, and again, not all advice is one size fits all. So this is why I highly recommend getting an independent one-on-one reading for yourself to make sure that this advice fits for your situation. But just keep that in mind, nevertheless. I'm one of those people where it's like, actions speak louder than words. If you're going to change, if you're going to do the thing, show me. So also, I don't believe I mentioned this yet, but for the donations tonight, $1 of every donation will go towards St. Jude's Children's Hospital as well. So we do share the love. We share the donations here at My Psychic Connection. So wanted to share that as well. All right, guys, who have we got next on our beautiful list here this evening? We have got Tanya. All right, Tanya. Tanya asks, will I get a car within 2 weeks? All right, my dear. Will Tanya get a car within the next 2 weeks? Look and see what there is to see. Will you get a car within the next 2 weeks? If I was yes or no gaming this question, it does seem to say no. And it doesn't, honestly, I will say it does not seem to be for lack of trying on your side, but it seems like other people aren't coming through with their end of the bargain. You're not finding what you're looking for. Like, I can really see the effort here on your part. I've got the 8 of Pentacles that has come up in reverse. So I will say, yes, there's effort on your part, but don't cut corners in your search. Don't just take something that's available or not get something inspected that needs to be properly looked at. I've got the 6 of Wands here reversed, the World reversed, and the 10 of Wands reversed. So it does seem to be quite burdensome not having this card. And when you're asking me this, it feels like there's quite a bit more under the surface of why this is so important. And it doesn't mean that you can't get a car within the next 2 weeks. And this is something I'd like to say too with the yes or no game, is just because I'm not seeing it happen right now, it is showing me that the path you're currently on is not sufficient. It's not going to work to get you a car within the next 2 weeks. So we'll need to adjust your strategy, my dear, to find a car that will actually work for you, that has been properly checked, that hasn't been just accepted as something that you need. Like, just avoid, man, I can't say this strongly enough, but don't just take a car that is available and accessible because it is available and accessible. Because there seems to be, I will say, a warning here surrounding getting something that is either a cash drain, something that is going to require more work, more upkeep. You're going to drive it out of the lot, and then there's going to be a problem with it. So be very diligent. Be very diligent about getting the car checked. So that is what I am seeing for you there, my dear. And good luck to you. Thank you so much for your question. And yeah, so I will repeat that one more time. So anyone who got a yes or no question answered earlier there, of course, we have free will. We have the ability to change and influence our situation. So whatever you see in a reading, at least this is how my readings work. I don't look into the cards and say, most of the time, sometimes it's like, okay, this is really coming down the pipe quite quickly. But most of the time, there is something or some level of influence we can have over our situation that will change the outcome. But what readings are really helpful for is they're showing, okay, with what I'm doing, do I like where I'm going? Do I not like where I'm going? What do we need to change? So another power of getting a reading. So Amanda, congratulations. You are the winner of the emoji contest here tonight. So congratulations. That would have been a very close call. There has been just a ton of beautiful emojis being sent here throughout the show tonight. So congratulations, Amanda. Thank you, everyone, for all of the beautiful emojis that you have sent. It has been such a joy to see the side of my screen light up here. So Amanda, my dear, I believe you have won this one once or twice before in the past as well. So Amanda, if you have an area of life that you would like this to relate to, Amanda says, yay, do let me know. Otherwise, I will go ahead and lay a card generally for you. Ooh, I have this, just picked up this deck, and I have a couple of cards that are facing the wrong way. Remnants of the cards of a reading from days past. So Amanda, my dear, if you have a question or an area of life you would like us to apply to, I'm happy to do that. And everyone, in case this is your first time here, I'm about to use what I call ridiculous deck. Amanda says, just what I need to know. Perfect. So this deck is absurd. It is wild, wacky, and you'll see what I mean in a couple of moments when the cards come out. But let's see what message there is for Amanda and what she needs to know at this time. So let's take a look here. There we are. Oh my gosh. Oh, man. Okay. These cards are so weird, so wild, so wonderful. So the first card I have down here, this is the weird tree. Okay, so we have, I'll just go ahead and show it to you in case you're not somewhere where you can see what's going on. It seems to be the body of what looks like a goat with a tree growing out of it and a snake in the tree and an eyeball. So we have the weird tree. We then have the digging ghost. And then we have this beautiful card here, the card of cards. What they've shown up. So with the weird tree, what you need to know or what is relevant for you at this time, the information for you, it almost feels like there are multiple things you're trying to accomplish that feel maybe sometimes within yourself like they're not cohesive with each other. Like there are certain projects, things that are important to you that are over here, and there's other stuff that you are wanting to do, and they seem to almost be at odds, but in some beautiful way, you have figured out a way to cohesively move things forward and keep things that are important to you in a way that someone on the outside looking in, it might seem like, how is she doing that? Why is she doing that? How does she, how are these things in any way related? So what I want to say with this is like, continue on with your growth into anything that seems from the outside like someone wouldn't understand or they wouldn't get. Like continue to grow in your weirdness. And I say that in the best way possible. The certain aspects or niche things that you're interested in, it just feels like there's such a level of growth that you're getting in a way that's hard to see or hard to explain from the outside in. And then I have the card of, like I said, the digging ghost here as well. So this is either some degree of an expectation, either an expectation someone else has on you or an expectation that you have to yourself. But it does feel like there's a continued participation in something that is really draining you. It's this digging ghost. This ghost has a literal crown on its head, but it just is continuing to dig for one reason or another, not in perhaps its best interest or in a way that feels more aligned with what they want and what's important to them. So with this card, it's I almost want to say like gently to breathe some life back into or snap you out of some monotonous way of living that feels very repetitive, that doesn't honor what is actually important to you or what you want to do. If it's a job or something that you're doing that just you're showing up for that you're not interested in, a relationship, some area of your life is being, I would say, considerably more general, with the digging ghost, to be more conscious with how you are spending your time and what you're putting your energy and effort into. So the card of cards, I love this card here as well. It is just, if you can't see it, imagine a card with a whole bunch of little cards just getting progressively smaller in them. I don't know if you read cards, but perhaps you need to get yourself a deck of cards. Perhaps you need to get some cards. What I see with that card of cards. But the other thing I'll say is like, it feels like Amanda says, so cool. Yeah. It's like those dolls where you open a doll and there's another little doll inside of it. And what's coming forward and what I want to say here is with this card is like opportunities within opportunities, and things not necessarily being as they seem, but starting out genuinely with interest in something and then it kind of taking you somewhere else and taking you somewhere else. And just it feels very rabbit hole-y and very can of wormsy, but in a way that is really wonderful. She says, yes, I have a few decks. Excellent. Get them out, play with them. Just to everybody, I hope everybody reads cards, but I highly recommend you with this card of cards to also go ahead and use your cards. But with what you need to know and the information I have for you, aside from that with this card, is to seek out opportunities in very strange places, like showing up somewhere with no intention of XYZ being the outcome, and then getting, meeting a person, having a contact, having something interesting happen that is feels rather serendipitous. And I feel like that comes after we get out of this digging ghost phase of, drive a different way to work. Like just inject a little bit of variety into some of the mundane or monotonous things that you find yourself doing, and seek those opportunities that are hidden within other opportunities that, we maybe didn't foresee when you left the house that morning. So that is what I have for you there, my dear. We've got the weird tree, the card of cards, and the digging ghost. So I hope that was helpful for you. She says that might be trying to please others. Yes, absolutely. Because why is that digging ghost continuing to dig? Like I said, it was that level of like expectation on yourself, of yourself, that other people have put on you, that then you are taking on and carrying that burden. It is falling into a pattern and accepting something that really does not fit. So we need to fix that, my dear, as soon as possible. So thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you everybody who has played the emoji contest here tonight. This has been an absolute blast. And yes, thank you so much, everyone who played, and congratulations, Amanda, again. All right, guys, we are cruising right along. I will go ahead and take my next question. Who have we got next? Folks, we have got a donation. We have a donation for a mega reading. Casey, it's so lovely to see you, my dear. Thank you so much for your donation. It really helps support the show. It also, we are donating this month to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So thank you so much for your donation. It just, yay, I'm so excited. All right, and I can really dive into this. So Casey says, hello, question about my boss. Is he going to be okay with my idea to restructure the team? Is there any advice for working with him? Have a big presentation on Monday. Will it go well? Also feel like there is a guy at work that is kind of flirty with me. Is he, or is he just being friendly? Trying to figure out his intentions. Thank you, Cassidy. All right. Okay. So I'm going to just start with the end of that question, because I don't know, I feel like the beginning of that question is more meaty, and once I sink my teeth into that, it might, it's going to take as long as it takes. This is a mega reading. So I'm going to take a look at this person. If you can, the lovely folks in the back, just let me know with that last question there. So there's a guy at work. He was kind of flirty with me. Is he, or is he just being friendly? All right, which deck am I going to pull for that? Ooh, this is so fun. I can take my time. I can pull all the cards. So is there actually flirtatious energy from this particular individual, and how he's feeling about you? So let's take a look at that quickly here. Okay. All righty. Okay. So this guy. I didn't think this one would take too long, but I do have a couple things to say about him. First card I have down here is Isolated, and it has come up in reverse. And the second card I have is the Lovers, that has come up in reverse. And then I have Existence reverse, as well as Guidance in reverse. So is he just being flirty? Is there more there? Can I say yes to both? A little bit. So I don't feel as though with that Lovers card being in reverse and the Isolated card being there, it just feels as though you're someone that I would say he can connect with. There's a different level of respect that he has for you as opposed to other people in your workplace. That Isolated card as well, I don't feel that he has necessarily in the workplace someone else that is kind in the way you are, that has that level of a relationship. And he does seem like, with that card of Isolated, there is an isolated energy. And I'm not saying he's reaching out to you because there's no one else. That's not what I'm seeing at all, because he genuinely enjoys your company. And like I said, there's that respect there. With that Lovers card, I do feel that the energy is, I will say, innocently flirtatious on his side. But at the same time, if what were to arise that you flirted back or in some way met those advances, I don't think he would say no, is really how I'm seeing this. But I don't think there's any expectation on his side that this is going to go anywhere, or that you're interested at this time. It just feels like there's a respect that he has for you. It almost feels like an at an arm's length work crush type thing, but I don't feel as though within himself it's gone to anywhere that is inappropriate or that is something you need to watch out for, unless of course you are interested in that. But I'm not seeing this being the romantic path for you necessarily at this time. So yes, being flirty. No, I don't think there's like a whole lot of extra meat under it, but I do feel like there's, you know, he respects you. He really likes you. You guys get along quite well. She says he's so nice and professional. Definitely a lot of respect from both sides. Yeah, excellent. So it's not being flirty, so there is a bit of like flirty niceness there, but it's not, I wouldn't say he's not looking to make things uncomfortable or push things into pushing the boundary or anything like that. So I hope that makes sense. If you want any more clarification on that, let me know. I will sort of restate that a little bit more, but I hope that that's clear. He's, you know, he likes you, but he's not, you know, going to be weird or strange about it. There is a flirtatious, respectful relationship between the two of you there. So that is the part of that question. She says lots of messages he sends have hearts in them. Yeah. Okay, that's wonderful. So if I look at, wait, hold on, let's pull that card back up because I just popped it right back in my deck. Is that card that I had of the lovers in this particular deck actually has a big puffy heart on it. Where did that card go? There it is right there. Like so. She says, it's a little weird. Yeah, I mean, look at that as well. We have these two people communicating in a work environment where, like you said, perhaps hearts are not the right move here, but I'm not seeing it being, despite the fact that, you know, an outsider looking in might be like, okay, that's strange and inappropriate. I don't feel that he's doing it I'm not trying to, you know, condone that behavior or saying that's the most professional way for him to conduct himself. That's not what I am saying there at all. But I'm not worried about what I see when he's sending these hearts. It feels almost like lighthearted or more, he's not sending them as an invitation to open up something deeper. I'm not seeing any degree, like with that isolated card, I do feel he's a little bit lonely, or perhaps is not getting that level of romantic or intimate connection in his life where he's fulfilled in that regard. So it's almost coming out in these little branches towards others, you yourself in this particular case. But I don't think he's like, I'm not seeing him being like head over heels or being really strange or amping this up a notch at all. It does feel that he will maintain a professional relationship. That just sort of seems to be how he communicates, but he does really appreciate how you show up for him in life. Like he's quite happy to be around you and to spend time with you and to work with you. But I'm not concerned about him being too pushy, too close, too clingy, too weird, or anything like that. Despite the fact that he sends you hearts with your messages. Again, it seems to be almost more like quirky is maybe more the energy I would describe as with this individual. Not like, and I hope it's coming across quirky, not creepy, but it seems to be coming across quirky from what I'm seeing in this card. She says, yes, he's a very nice guy. Thanks, Cassidy. No problem. So my darlings in the back, if I could have the first chunk of this question, thank you so much. So for Casey, my dear, she behaves in Aquarius. We are a weird bunch. Yes, and I text with hearts in them a fair bit myself, but not in the workplace. I never have in the workplace. Anyway, Casey says, question about my boss. Is he going to be okay with my idea to restructure the team? Okay, so we're going to start there, and then I'm going to go to the next part of that. So how is he going to react for your idea to restructure the team? Because yes, I remember you had that meeting with him. Let's take a look. How is he going to react to your idea of restructuring the team? Let's take a look here. Go. It's not something I don't think he could warm up to or come around to, but initially, and I'm just seeing this from his perspective, it almost feels like he is taking this, and I'm sorry to say this way, but it feels like he would take that as you almost overstepping, or I don't think he's going to be entirely on board with it immediately, is what I want to say, because part of this is strange, because how it's coming forward is like despite the fact where I'm saying I think he will warm up to it, I don't think he thinks it's a bad idea, but there's a part of this which feels almost like egotistical in the sense of like if it wasn't his idea, there's almost an initial resistance to it being like a good idea that could have a large impact, but it wasn't my idea. So I'm going to just push back against the idea for that reason, not because what it's showing is like he's being, I would say, irrational to the value that it would bring the company, this idea that you have to restructure. Let me actually take a look at that really quickly. Okay. Yeah, to be honest, she says he's actually trying to restructure. I'm trying to keep things as they are right now and explain why things are fine for now. Okay, so yeah, it seems that makes a lot of sense where I've got that King of Wands in reverse where it's like he doesn't, well, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot more sense where you're saying that he's wanting to keep, wait, what did you say? Sorry, he's actually trying to restructure. I'm trying to keep things as they are. Okay, sorry. I had that question backwards originally, but my vote, okay, here's what I want to say. The path that he is going on that feels like it's his idea, the fact that it's your idea, there is some level of, and it's not towards you, but just within himself. The idea didn't come from him, so he's going to have some degree of pushback towards it. Where I have, what you are bringing to the table, would that be the right move? I have the Temperance card upright, as opposed to with the path that he's already on, I got the Ten of Swords reversed. So I like what you are trying to say because it feels like the path he is moving on, it's almost like he's got to make the mistake or get a little bit farther down the wrong path before he can take on board your idea and how what you would be bringing forward would bring more value to the team and to the company as a whole. If I can get that question back up here again, because I think your next part of the question was, is there any advice for working with him? And you have a big presentation on Monday, will it go well? So let me look at that aspect as well. For working with him, there's almost like I would say a stubbornness to his own detriment a little bit, what I'm seeing here, where it's like there's just an unwillingness to really hear you out to what would be in his best interest to do so entirely. So let me see here, advice for working with him on this. There we go. Okay. Yeah. She says, oh, yes, with a laughing face. Yeah. All right. So advice for working with him. This is an interesting combination. I've got the card of stress and I've got the card of laziness. And I don't know if this it feels almost like calling this boss lazy would almost be the wrong term, but it's coming across as like, I would say, intellectual laziness in terms of not like this. We've got this guy sitting here with this little umbrella and his little glasses and drinking this little cup, and it's like there's a mental laziness of not accepting, a laziness of falling back into thinking like he always kind of knows what's best. Though in terms of guidance for you, it seems to, what I would say is to kind of get the best out of your working relationship and to get your ideas that are actually putting things in the right way to actually resonate with him, and it needs to come across to him, it feels, in a more collaborative way, where what you are bringing forward is or what you're talking about when you're discussing these things with him. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to say this because integrity wise, if it's your idea and what you're bringing forward, you should be the sole face of what you are pushing forward. But it feels almost like if he's part of that decision making process, if he if he thinks he's there while you guys are coming to this conclusion together, it's almost like bringing your analysis and bringing your conclusion into the meeting. But when you sit at the meeting, she says, that's solid advice. Thank you. You're welcome. So like you come to the meeting, you know all of the things you want to say, and you know what the best outcome is. But instead of sitting down and saying, here's what I think and why, it's kind of like having that meeting where it's like, okay, here's a problem we're facing. What do you think about this? Oh, I think maybe this, and collaboratively come to the conclusion that you've already decided and you already know is the best path forward. So I think if you can almost hack that intellectual laziness, and I don't feel that he's a lazy person. I keep hearing that that's like the wrong way to describe this individual, but it's like turning your back on himself sort of turning his back on things that really could put him put things in the right way. Like if he just listened, I almost want to say like if this man just listened to you more, and I'm not just saying this to like, you know, toot your own horn or anything, but I'm actually getting cards here that suggest that you do know what you're talking about. The ideas that you have really would put things in the right direction, and it's his loss that he's not listening to you more. So can I have that question up one more time? She's laughing. So you also had asked there, you have a big presentation on Monday and will it go well? So I will also take a look at that. Let me put some cards away here. And this presentation, when you're asking will it go well, is it just to your boss or is it to like clients? I just want to make sure I am asking, when you're saying will it go well, I'll see like how it turns out for you, but I just want to know like if there's anyone particularly we want to ask, like, you know, will your boss accept it well, or is this for a client situation? So let's take a look. And guys, this is a mega reading, so I can take all of my time and I can, you know, we've got multiple questions here. So Casey says, no, a group of executives. Okay, let's take a look at that. Your big meeting on Monday. How this will go for you. All right. How will the meeting go? And it is in front of a group of executives. All right. Ooh. Yay. Okay. I like what I'm seeing here. Just let me grab a couple more cards here just to iron this one out. Whoa. Okay. She says 11:11. Thanks for taking the time. Oh, see where I am? I'm on the West Coast. I'm on Pacific time zone, so it's 8:11 here. But I like that it's 11:11 where you are. One of the takeaways that I think is really quite exciting about this meeting, honestly, looks like it's going to go really well. Spoiler alert. But I have these two cards. I've got the Knight of Swords that's come up in reverse to the Knight of Pentacles upright. So keep this in mind, but it feels almost that amongst the group of executives, there seems to be one that's either maybe outspoken and or stubborn. And one of the key takeaways is that you've managed to either change that person's mind, you've opened their eyes to something. It's like someone who nobody really gets through to. You managed to do that with this particular, I'm not going to call him a problematic individual, but almost feels like there's a reputation of this person being quite immalleable, and you making a change or what you are presenting, what you're bringing forward makes a difference to someone that is pretty immovable. She says, wow, yeah, I mean, look at this. It's really quite cool looking at those two knights. So moving back to how the meeting will go, the cards I have the card of intensity upright as my first card. So heading into this meeting, all of the preparation you are doing, like keep going, keep doing it. It feels like, you know, the revisions that you have done, your intensity, your drive, your focus, what you are bringing forward, like, you know your shit, you know what you're talking about. I don't feel the need to tell you to prepare more because I feel like you're still doing that on your own, but like excellent work on your preparation leading up to this meeting. She says preparing tomorrow. So I feel like with this, it's almost like I know you're saying you're preparing tomorrow, but in the physical world, you are preparing tomorrow, but like mentally, there's so much that you have already done on this front. There's already a lot of intensity and a lot of energy that you've brought to the forefront. So when you go to actually prepare or do it physically, it feels like it rather spills out of you because you are already so driven about this. Then I have the card of possibilities here as well. It has come up upright. So something about looking at things a different way, showing something from a new viewpoint, showing a different avenue of business. It does seem like the nature of this meeting, and somehow it offers like a zoomed out perspective, which is interesting with those nights where it's like, you know, getting a key person on your side with your presentation. And that possibilities cards is like, I do feel that they're going to value what it is that you have to say, and like it's expanded perspective on their side. And I feel like your message is getting across really quite well. And then the final card here I have is of patience, which is a very beautiful energy with this card. So whatever the outcome of this meeting is meant to be, It does show favorable. I will say it is a positive outcome for what you're looking for, but it's almost like it takes a little bit of time for the changes to be implemented for you to hear back. Whatever the outcome is or how that looks, it just, I will say that there's a patience aspect to that. She says the meeting is about getting to buy in on a new possibility of reporting to them. Oh, fascinating. Yes, with this new possibility. I like it. Of reporting to them. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at that specifically. Because with that card of patience, I'm going to stick with what I said with the outcome of the meeting being like it's not something that happens overnight, despite the fact you really seem to have, like I said, swayed that key individual. There's some degree of a delay, not on your side, but just doesn't seem that things move entirely as fast as maybe they could, particularly with how strong this meeting goes. But let me see here. So the possibility of reporting to them directly. Let me take a look at that. Yeah. So I have this card. It's beautiful. It's a card of courage. And it has this. So what you're doing, it feels like it either hasn't been done before. For the reason of looking at, she says, I just hope my boss sees it, and it is, I just hope my boss sees it as it's going well. I'm sure it will be honest. I'm sure it will, to be honest, but he tends to find something wrong in everything. And I mean, what can we do with people like that? With that, with that degree of intellectual laziness, like, of course, if you're saying he's finding something wrong in everything, there is just that, well, are you just really? There are people that are like that. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with that portion of his nature and of his character, but it looks, anyway, sorry, I will get back to that in just a half a second. So with the possibility of reporting to them, honestly, I'm getting a yes here with this card of courage. We have a flower growing out of cement. So like seemingly impossible, or seemingly asking for something that hasn't been done, or is a very low possibility. This is showing that the flower does in fact grow. Again, we've got a slower growing flower, and we have the card of patience here. So the fallout of this meeting seems to either be a catalyst for further meetings or follow-up meetings in order to really solidify where you were looking to take this. So this does not seem to be the end of the line necessarily with the change that you're looking to implement. So that patience and that courage to just keep going forward for what it is that you're looking for. And I always want to say jumping through the hoops that they need, but it just seems to be like a stepwise process. She says, yes, we'll definitely need some follow-ups. Yeah, totally. That makes that. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So let me just get one more card here on your boss. Something wrong in everything. I mean, there just are some people like that, but let's take a look here quickly on your boss. Wow, yeah, I mean, it's almost like this individual. If something is good, if something is going well, it's like the better it goes, the less he would say. Almost, it doesn't seem to be the type to offer praise where praise is due. I have the card of the Hangman here, so it feels like he initially there's almost like, he's just sitting there taking it in, not saying too much of anything. But then I have the card of the Sun in reverse. So I do feel after this meeting, you will know. I think you'll catch glimpses of the fact that he's, she says, correct, with a bunch of arrows hitting the bullseye. After this meeting, there's almost like an unspoken way you will know that he was receptive and felt positively about the meeting. But it's like he's never going to come out and say it. And it's almost, they're not backhanded compliments by any means, but it's almost like you got to read between the lines to see his praise or his appreciation for you, because the Sun card is there. It's like there is a positive connotation, and he does leave with that being a positive experience. But the Hangman is just like beating around the proverbial bush, not actually saying what he's meant to say. With that Sun card reversed as well, I don't think we're entirely sidestepping the fact, like you said, he finds something wrong in everything, but it's like it's almost like in what he finds wrong, because it's going to be so minor or so unimportant, you're going to know that you did a good job, because it's like, really, that's all you have to complain about, is how that comes across. So it does seem to leave a good impression on him. You're leaving him very few things to complain about at the end of the day. But it honestly, like, the meeting does seem to go really quite well. The executives, like I said, it's that, and you confirm there, it's going to be a stepwise process, patience and courage to get through this, and to get to the outcome that you're looking for. But honestly, a really strong start and really positive. You're going to be very well prepared for this meeting and move forward with that intensity there, that drive, the sharp mind that you have. Let that show throughout this meeting, because it honestly seems really positive and really powerful. Casey says, thank you, Cassidy, with a bunch of hearts. Thank you, my dear, so much for the donation. And it was so lovely to get a chance to connect with you tonight. And that, yeah, it's just so wonderful. And thank you so much for your donation. It really helps support the show, and it also supports the St. Jude's Children's Hospital this month. All right, guys. So I cannot believe we have come to the end of the show. This has been such a wonderful evening. And this, guys, is my season finale. It is the last time you will see me here for about a couple of months. I'll be back in a couple of months. But of course, Journey Ryan will be taking over, but he will be taking this spot for the next couple of weeks. So definitely check him out. He is amazing, and he will keep this spot alive for me. So until I get back. So I'm again sending so much love to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a wonderful evening, and it's been a wonderful season. I will be back with my next season in a couple months, but have a great evening. Hope everyone has a wonderful February, and we will see you real soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.